Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be discussing some more examples from chapter 1 of the Caruthers book. Now, before moving into further examples, I want to give you certain informations. Whenever we have a cis-enolate or you can say Z-enolate, then on addition of aldehyde, it gives us a cene-aldol, and whenever we get a trans-enolate, then on addition of an aldehyde, it gives us an anti-aldol. Now, this is an example of cis-enolate and this is an example of trans-enolate, okay, and this is an example of cis-enolate. So here how can we consider these as seed? Now in case of enolate, irrespective of whatever group this may be, whether it can be a larger group as compared to this or whatever, always give the in enolate, always give this group as number 1 and this group as number 2, and don't consider here the CIP rule, okay. So whenever you get is one number 1, so these groups are cis, so it is a cis-enolate, and in this case these and this group are trans, so it is a trans-enolate, okay. Now on reaction of this cis-enolate with aldehyde, it gives us cene-aldol. So let me write you the cene-aldol, R C, it will be, I will explain you. So R double dash, okay. So how this formed, this bond will come there and this bond is going to attack here and negative charge will generate in here. It will further abstract a proton from the solution, okay. Then we are going to get this. You can write it above the plane or in both sides you can write below the plane, and in the downward also you can write below the plane, no problem, but both should be seen to each other because cis-aldol is formed here. And in case of trans-aldol, you have to write the opposite form here. Suppose you take it this one cis, you take it above the plane, then this one you have to take below the plane, okay. So this is anti-aldol. Now let's see a question of this type. Now in this reaction, it is a ketone and a boron reagent is given here. Along with this, a base is also given and solvent ether is also given. Now first of all, the base is going to abstract a proton. So here is a proton, so the base is going to abstract this proton and a double bond will form, and O minus or negative charge will be in the oxygen atom, okay. Then this negative charge which will be there is going to attack boron, since boron is electron deficient, right? So it is going to give some electron density to the boron, and then OTF is a good leaving group, it is going to leave here. So we are going from getting from here is, wait, I will show you what enolate is going to form. First of all, O B B U T, okay. And just know one thing, that whenever there is a boron reagent, in most of the cases you will get a cis-enolate, okay. You are going to get a cis-enolate in most of the boron reagent. Cis-enolate. So this is the product form here, and then on reaction of with aldehyde, I told you in that it is going to give aldol. How? First of all, this will come here and it will attack here, and O minus is going to form, and again this is going to abstract a proton from the solution, so it will become, again it is going to become OH here, okay. So let me write you the product here. Double bond O is formed and cis-enolate, so the answer will be cene-enolate, okay. Cene-enolate will be the answer. So here first of all carbon is attached, then pH. Now these two groups, either you write in the above the plane or below the plane, it is going to be in the same side, that is seen, okay. So here OH will be formed and here the methyl group is there. So this is the product of this reaction. Now let us take this reagent. It is also a boron reagent, but in this case a bulky ligand is taken. So what is the name of this ligand? It is cyclohexyl ligand, okay. So when we take a bulky ligand, then we are not going to get this cenolate. The same reaction in presence of bulky ligand, we are going to get an enolate, but this enolate is going to be trans. Okay, why trans? Because it is very bulky. Boron is attached to 2-cyclohexyl group, so enolate formation at the cis position is very difficult, so it forms a trans enolate. So as a result, the final product will be with when reaction with aldehyde. Thus we are going to get our final product as anti-aldol. That is, one group will be above, other will be below, or you can put this group above or this one below. Okay, but remember, in most of the cases, whenever a boron reagent is given, in most of the cases it gives cis enolate, formation of cis enolate, and so we are getting syn aldol reaction. Let's move on to another example. So in this reaction, what are the products formed? So first of all, it is given the boron reagent is 9 ppn OTF and a base is given. First of all, the base is going to abstract the proton. So from where it is going to abstract a proton? Wherever enolate is able to form, there we are going to abstract the proton. So abstracting this proton, and thus negative charge will be in the oxygen atom. Further, the negative charge is again going to attack boron and OTF is going to leave. And whether it is syn or cis or anti, how can we know that? I have already told you, in most of the boron reagent it gives cis enolate, and the 9 ppn arranges itself in such a way that we get the syn configuration. We are getting a syn enolate. Okay, sorry, cis enolate. Might be thinking how it can be a cis enolate, that sulfur should have priority 1 and it should have priority 2 according to CIP rule, Kern-Ingold-Prelog rule. But always remember, as I have told you before also, that whenever in enolate you have to consider this oxygen atom as priority number 1, then only, and it is 2, so according to it, it is cis. Okay, so cis enolate is formed, and then on reaction with aldehyde you are going to get the syn aldol. Thus we are getting a syn aldol. An important thing is that whenever you get tin triflate, and in case of phenyl thioester, that is R, it may be any group, pH, and boron reagents. Okay, so in most of the cases, in these three, we are going to get syn aldol. In most of the examples, you are going to get a syn aldol if these reagents are used. Let's move on to a different question. So in this question, what are the products formed here? First of all, a tertiary butanol is given. I can write it like this: butanol. It is an aldehyde. Here, the lone pair over the nitrogen is going to act as a nucleophile, and it is going to act with the carbonyl carbon, and a negative charge will be on the oxygen atom. And then the product formed, and then it gives us, and here is carboxylic acid, and here one hydrogen is there and another C, tertiary butyl, and O minus. Then this O minus is going to act as a nucleophile, and it is going to attack here. It will go there, the negative charge, and it can come back. And we know that OH is not a good Lewin group, but H plus is given in the solution. So the lone pair of the oxygen atom is going to take the H plus, and thus it becomes OH2, and OH2 is a good Lewin group. Okay, OH2 is a good Lewin group, that is water, and here is a positive charge, I forgot. So this will neutralize, and thus we are going to get the product as, and we are going to get this product first. Okay, then on addition of LDA and methylaldehyd, what will occur? Let's see. First of all, we know that LDA is a non-nucleophilic base. It is isopropyl non-nucleophilic base. So this is the structure of LDA. So the negative charge on the nitrogen atom is going to abstract a proton. Now we have to see which is the most acidic proton. There is also a proton, and there is also a proton, but the most acidic proton will be this one. Why? Because on abstracting this proton, there will be a formation of a negative charge negative charge will form here, and this is a electron withdrawing group, and also it will withdraw electron density, so negative charge will be more stabilized as it can undergo conjugation. Okay, so negative charge will be formed here, and this negative charge on further in the next step methyl iodide is given, right? So this negative charge is going to attract on the methyl group, and iodine is a good leaving group, so iodide will leave. Thus this will be our final product of this reaction. Okay.